Good morning, and it is Faye at Macon Manor. I'm going to take a quick stroll around, try to live, still not working good, so going to have to do YouTube. This little guy right here is one of 6 beautiful dwarf ornamental trees that I purchased some time ago, and I finally got them in the ground yesterday. And I'll look up the family and the genus when I have some downtime this evening. They're gorgeous. They don't have lilac down here. This is basically almost just like lilac, and they come in beautiful, like I think this one here in particular is called a Delta Blue, and they range from blues to violets to orchid to pink. They're just gorgeous, and unlike the crepe myrtles, they're not invasive. They don't have bugs that live in them that like to pee on you and all kinds of other weird stuff. Yeah, crepe myrtles, don't get me started. So it was a little aggravating because I really had to plant these in very particular areas. Basically, I had bought a bunch of trees and plants, and the idea is that I've got a little bit over 2.2 acres. I have a water fountain and features I'm putting in, and I want it to be where when these things grow, another tree, as these things mature and bloom, I want the landscaping to fill in beautifully, but not obscure the house, frame it. Also, if you'll notice, well, you can't really when I'm walking around, and there's going to be a fountain eventually here. I know it looks weird. I framed it within the stairs. So basically it's going to frame the house with just a riot of color and continue to provide lots of nice shady areas. The trees are full. Well, they will be, but they're small. I think the top height on these, they vary a little bit between the different colors, but they're really small, and they range between 16 and 20 feet is all. So there'll be a lot of nice opportunities. I see some Victorian bronze colored lawn furniture here and there, little cozy areas, maybe a stone bench with another bird bath, and nothing that has any kind of a root system on it is any closer than 40 to 50 foot to the house. That is what caused a tremendous amount of the damage to this poor house's foundation. As you can see there, she's almost finished. And it looks really weird. It's deceptive. There's a lot of trim pieces that need to be popped off and straightened out. As people prepared to paint this house the last time, evidently what they did is to make it look nice, they kind of adjusted the trim to kind of make the house look more level. So the problem is that the more level I get the house, windows and different things and some of the trim pieces look really awkward and off, not because the house is, it's because the wood got put back on that way. So I know it's a little deceptive when you look at it. I'm used to it at this point. It doesn't drive me crazy anymore. But for the rest of you, I do apologize. But trust and believe that the house is really getting to where she's in really great shape. But there's just a lot of this mind-bending optical illusion stuff going on, because so many people did so much stuff affecting the looks of the house when it was extremely off level. And so again, as she comes level, it really looks wonky as heck. So last night I came out and I just couldn't stop. When I got to the very last post over there of my 5-shock post, it was just too dark to see. I couldn't be worried at the time about getting things plumb. I mean, and of course I ended up stepping and standing unknowingly at first right in the middle of a fire ant hill. That was fun. Ankles and feet are killing me today. but they're hard to see. I chose black, green for my corners, and black for my fillers. And I'm going to readjust these step-ins, the 5-shock step-ins, and there's going to be about double the amount that can be seen right now. All the stores, it's a real popular color, and I understand why, because people are getting them for the same reason I am. That unless you're right up on this fence, you don't see it. And so everybody, look at that beautiful, beautiful pond out back, belongs to my neighbors. And they are so kind as it to let us, we all enjoy it. Everybody here enjoys that. And I didn't want to impede my view, their view, or anyone else's. I also, one of the most important reasons, besides wanting to know for sure where my boundaries were, I had a survey done because I wanted to make sure, number one, I didn't accidentally fence in anything that doesn't belong to me. Goodness, and I actually own quite a bit to the other side. I've got to deal with this whole, all this has got to come out. People have been dumping stuff here in this one little area for years. Eventually there's going to be a barn here. So I've got about another ½ acre. But anyways, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to risk the chance of accidentally fencing in anything that doesn't belong to me. I also wanted to have plenty of room for maintenance, dragging things around the property, mowing, and I didn't necessarily want to have to go through a bunch of gates to accomplish that. So to help myself out as well as neighbors and everyone, so we can continue to enjoy the view and access and everything, I went ahead and I brought my fence in 15 feet inside my property line. Haha, there's the solar box. And trust me, it holds a charge. Found that out last night. Yesterday I also got all of my posts plumb and concreted in. Pretty excited. Was a little bummed out. Wanted to slap this thing, the corral, together. But I really needed to let that concrete, even though it sets up pretty fast, I really wanted to give it 24 hours so that I'm not going to move them. And that, as I put on the rails right there, that'll be no end of fun. Actually, I don't think it'll be too bad. Bummer is I'm going to have to use different screws than what I thought I was going to, because I don't know what in the hell the guys did to my damn drills. But they got those things turned so impossibly hard. Not even with a vise can I undo the chuck. Pretty pissed about that. So I've got it. Fortunately, there's a decent bit in the one drill, but I had to get a different box of screws with different tops on them to use it. I can't go with the ones I was going to use before. It's got the same threads, same length. It's not going to make a bit of difference. All it means is that when I get down to finishing drywall and different things inside the house, I'm probably going to have to buy another box of screws to replace it. Big deal, right? But anyway, so Juicy Fruits is going to have a really lovely little pasture area. And this is not the full extent of it. It is for the moment. And this will be plenty for him to get through fall and winter. And hopefully, because here in the next couple months, the vast majority of critical stuff is all going to be done within the house, leaving me with mostly just cosmetic things that I'm going to work on over time. Probably take me another year to get the interior of the home complete, as far as finishes, trims, paint, hanging chandeliers, you name it. But by spring, then hopefully I will have busted out that scary area over there and started on a nice little roofed little barn for him. And then I'll either take out the end of this pasture and just bring it the rest of the way over, giving him another half acre, or, you know, to prevent overgrazing. It does get pretty wet out here. I might just fence in that addition separately so that I've got a couple areas so it gets a break. But anyways, yesterday really kicked my butt. Not my normal base metabolic rate, but actually my activity rate yesterday. I ended up, by the time I went to bed, I ended up burning almost 1,400 calories. That's in addition to my BMR. So my daily burn for yesterday ended up being just over 3,000 calories. Not too shabby. So, good morning. I hope y'all are having an amazing Sunday. And that's all I got right now for the haps out here at Macon Manor. Toodles.